Hello, friends. If you're curious about the movie Captain America, Brave New World, 2025, you're in the perfect place. Don't forget to give this video a quick like, it really helps us out. And if you're new here, hit subscribe to stay updated on all the latest movie deep dives. Let's jump right in. In the vast tapestry of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, few characters have undergone as profound a transformation as Sam Wilson. Once soaring the skies as Falcon, Sam's journey has been one of courage, resilience, and an unyielding commitment to justice. Now, in Captain America, Brave New World, he steps into the iconic role of Captain America, wielding the shield with honor and facing challenges that test his limits both as a hero and as a man. The film opens against a backdrop of political upheaval. General Thaddeus "Thunderbolt" Ross has ascended to the presidency, a development that sends ripples through the nation's fabric. Sam Wilson, still grappling with the weight of his new mantle, finds himself thrust into a maelstrom of intrigue and danger. The world watches with bated breath as the new Captain America navigates a landscape fraught with deception and peril. Our story begins with a high-octane mission in Japan. Sam, alongside his trusted ally Joaquin Torres, is on a covert operation to retrieve a mysterious package from a formidable terrorist organization. The mission is anything but straightforward. In a heart-pounding sequence set within the hallowed walls of a chapel, Sam confronts armed assailants holding a priest and two nuns hostage. Demonstrating his tactical prowess and unwavering resolve, he neutralizes the threat, securing both the hostages and the enigmatic package. This daring rescue not only cements his role as a protector, but also sets the stage for the labyrinthine plot that unfolds. Upon returning to the United States, Sam's path intersects with President Ross. Their meeting, intended to address the escalating global tensions, becomes a crucible of conflicting ideals. Ross, a figure shrouded in both authority and controversy, seeks to leverage the discovery of adamantium, a metal of unparalleled strength found on the enigmatic celestial island, for national supremacy. He envisions weaponizing this resource, a strategy that raises ethical dilemmas and geopolitical stakes. Sam, embodying the principles of his predecessor, Steve Rogers, challenges this approach, advocating for responsibility and global cooperation over dominance. As diplomatic efforts intensify, a pivotal summit is convened to deliberate the fate of the celestial island and its precious resources. The atmosphere is charged with anticipation and underlying tension. Amidst the negotiations, chaos erupts. A calculated assassination attempt threatens to derail the peace talks and plunge the world into conflict. In the ensuing turmoil, Sam's vigilance and heroism avert catastrophe, but the incident leaves an indelible mark, casting shadows of doubt and suspicion over the proceedings. Determined to unearth the orchestrators behind the attack, Sam embarks on a relentless investigation. His pursuit leads him into the clandestine world of the Serpent Society, a shadowy cabal with far-reaching influence and sinister objectives. This secretive organization, long thought to be the stuff of conspiracy theories, emerges from the shadows, revealing a complex network of power and corruption. Their machinations are intricately tied to the recent events, suggesting a deeper conspiracy that threatens global stability. In a shocking revelation, it becomes apparent that President Ross is not merely a pawn but a pivotal player in this grand design. His ambitions and past transgressions intertwine with the Serpent Society's agenda, culminating in a transformation that defies the natural order. Ross succumbs to a monstrous metamorphosis, becoming the Red Hulk, a being of immense power and unbridled rage. This transformation symbolizes the perilous consequences of unchecked ambition and the loss of humanity in the pursuit of power. The climax of the film is a symphony of action, emotion, and moral reckoning. Sam confronts the Red Hulk in a battle that transcends physical confrontation, delving into the ideological chasm between them. The fight sequences are meticulously choreographed, blending visceral combat with poignant storytelling. Amidst the destruction, Sam's resolve shines through. He embodies the essence of Captain America, not defined by supersoldier serum or physical might, but by an unwavering moral compass and the courage to stand against tyranny. Captain America, Brave New World masterfully weaves themes of identity, power, and responsibility. It challenges the audience to reflect on the true meaning of heroism in a world where lines between right and wrong are increasingly blurred. The film pays homage to the legacy of Steve Rogers while carving a distinct path for Sam Wilson, highlighting his unique struggles and triumphs as he embraces his role as the symbol of hope and justice. The narrative is enriched by complex character dynamics and unexpected alliances. Old friends and new faces converge, each bringing their own perspectives and challenges to the fore. These interactions add depth to the storyline, exploring the multifaceted nature of loyalty, trust, and redemption. Visually, the film is a spectacle, with stunning cinematography that captures both the grandeur of epic battles and the subtlety of intimate character moments. The score complements the narrative, blending stirring orchestral compositions with contemporary motifs, reflecting Sam's journey in bridging the past and present. As the credits roll, audiences are left with a sense of anticipation and contemplation. The world has changed, and with it, the mantle of Captain America has evolved. Brave New World is not just a title. It encapsulates the essence of the story, a world on the brink of transformation, guided by heroes who dare to challenge the status quo and inspire others to do the same. In conclusion, Captain America, Brave New World is a compelling addition to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, offering a fresh perspective on heroism and leadership. It invites viewers to embark on a thrilling journey filled with action, intrigue, and profound character development. As Sam Wilson takes flight, shield in hand, he carries forward a legacy while forging his own path, reminding us all of the enduring power of courage and integrity. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of Captain America, Brave New World. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please give the video a like and subscribe to our channel for more in-depth analyses of your favorite films. Share your thoughts in the comments below. What did you think of Sam Wilson's journey as the new Captain America? Until next time, keep exploring the cinematic universe with us. In the heart of Oaxaca, Mexico, a clandestine operation was underway. The Serpent Society, led by the elusive Sidewinder, had orchestrated the theft of classified items, their intentions shrouded in mystery. The gravity of the situation prompted President Thaddeus "Thunderbolt" Ross to deploy the newly anointed Captain America, Sam Wilson, alongside his steadfast ally, Joaquin Torres, now bearing the mantle of Falcon. Their mission: intercept the illicit sale and retrieve the stolen assets. The duo infiltrated the Serpent Society's stronghold under the cloak of night. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of Captain America, Brave New World. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please give the video a like and subscribe to our channel for more in-depth analyses of your favorite films. Share your thoughts in the comments below. What did you think of Sam Wilson's journey as the new Captain America? Until next time, keep exploring the cinematic universe with us. In the heart of Oaxaca, Mexico, a clandestine operation was underway. The Serpent Society, led by the elusive Sidewinder, had orchestrated the theft of classified items, their intentions shrouded in mystery. The gravity of the situation prompted President Thaddeus "Thunderbolt" Ross to deploy the newly anointed Captain America, Sam Wilson, alongside his steadfast ally, Joaquin Torres, now bearing the mantle of Falcon. Their mission: intercept the illicit sale and retrieve the stolen assets. The duo infiltrated the Serpent Society's stronghold under the cloak of night. The air was thick with tension as they navigated the labyrinthine corridors, every shadow a potential threat. Their objective became clear: a chapel where hostages, including a priest and 2 nuns, were held captive. The sanctity of the place contrasted starkly with the violence that threatened to erupt. With calculated precision, Sam and Joaquin launched their assault, neutralizing the mercenaries with a blend of combat prowess and tactical ingenuity. The hostages were freed, and the classified items secured, but Sidewinder, ever the slippery adversary, managed to escape into the night. In the aftermath, a conversation unfolded between Sam and Joaquin. The exhilaration of the mission's success was tempered by Sam's reservations about involving Joaquin in such perilous endeavors. Unlike Steve Rogers, neither possessed superhuman abilities, relying instead on skill, training, and sheer willpower. This reality weighed heavily on Sam, the responsibility of the shield a constant reminder of the legacy he now upheld. Seeking guidance and perhaps solace, they visited Isaiah Bradley, a super soldier whose past was marred by betrayal and injustice. Isaiah's experience served as a poignant reminder of the complexities entwined with the role of Captain America. His resilience in the face of adversity offered Sam a perspective rooted in history and sacrifice. The narrative shifted to the political epicenter of the United States, the White House. President Ross extended an invitation to Sam, Joaquin, and, at Sam's behest, Isaiah, to attend a summit with global leaders. The agenda was monumental: the discovery of a new metal, adamantium, on the emergent celestial island, a remnant of the celestial Tiamat's emergence in the Indian Ocean. The potential of this metal was unparalleled, and Ross sought to establish a treaty to regulate its extraction and distribution, aiming to avert a global arms race. As Ross articulated his vision, an unforeseen threat materialized. The haunting melody of Mr. Blue permeated the room, triggering a trance-like state in several attendees, including Isaiah. In a chilling turn, they drew weapons and opened fire. Chaos ensued, but the swift response of Ruth Bat Seraph, Ross's head of security and a former Black Widow, prevented a massacre. The assailants, once subdued, emerged from their stupor with no recollection of their actions, their minds hijacked by an unseen puppeteer. Determined to unearth the orchestrator behind this insidious attack, Sam delved into an investigation that led him into the shadows of conspiracy. His pursuit bore fruit when he apprehended Sidewinder, whose capture unveiled a breadcrumb trail to a covert facility in West Virginia, Camp Echo 1. This black site, cloaked in secrecy, held the key to unraveling the mystery. Concurrently, diplomatic tensions escalated. The Japanese government, having suffered the theft of adamantium from their mining operations, cast blame upon Ross, accusing him of duplicity. The fragile threads of international relations strained under the weight of suspicion and accusation. Amidst this turmoil, a revelation surfaced, a name from the annals of past conflicts: Dr. Samuel Stearns. Once a cellular biologist, Stearns's fate had been irrevocably altered following exposure to Bruce Banner's blood during the Harlem incident. The exposure had augmented his intellect to superhuman levels, transforming him into the enigmatic Mr. Blue. Ross had incarcerated Stearns at Camp Echo 1, leveraging his genius for personal and political gain, all while publicly denouncing him for the Harlem devastation. Promises of freedom had been dangled before Stearns, contingent upon his compliance in advancing Ross's ambitions, including his ascent to the presidency. The pieces of the puzzle coalesced into a disturbing image. Stearns, embittered by betrayal and imprisonment, had orchestrated the attack, utilizing mind control technology activated by the Mr. Blue melody, a sinister nod to his alias. His machinations aimed to dismantle Ross's credibility and plunge the world into chaos. Sam and Joaquin, with unwavering resolve, infiltrated Camp Echo 1. Within its fortified confines, they confronted Stearns, whose demeanor exuded a chilling calm. The encounter escalated into a confrontation with mind-controlled soldiers, a testament to Stearns's depravity. Amidst the fray, Ruth Bat Seraph emerged, her allegiance aligning with Sam and Joaquin. Together, they fought through the onslaught, but Stearns, ever the strategist, evaded capture, slipping through their grasp like a specter. In the aftermath, the trio sought refuge with Dennis Dunphy, a trusted military ally. Sidewinder, now in custody, divulged fragments of Stearns's vendetta against Ross. The revelation painted a portrait of a man consumed by vengeance, his intellect weaponized to exact retribution. Meanwhile, the geopolitical landscape teetered on the brink. The United States and Japan, both coveting the adamantium-rich celestial island, dispatched their fleets, a show of force that threatened to ignite open conflict. The specter of war loomed, a grim reminder of the stakes at play. As the narrative unfolded, the convergence of personal vendettas, political machinations, and global tensions set the stage for an explosive confrontation. The world watched, breath held in anticipation, as the new Captain America faced challenges that would test not only his resolve but the very ideals he stood to uphold. The tension in the world had reached a breaking point. Captain America, Sam Wilson, stood at the center of a brewing storm, where political schemes, personal vendettas, and global threats converged. The discovery of adamantium on Celestial Island had ignited a race for power, but more dangerous than the metal itself were the men willing to do anything to control it. And at the heart of it all was the man who once wielded absolute authority, President Thaddeus "Thunderbolt" Ross. Sam, along with his allies Joaquin Torres and Ruth Bat-Seraph, had barely escaped Camp Echo 1 with their lives. Dr. Samuel Stearns, now fully embracing his identity as the leader, had slipped through their fingers, leaving behind only chaos, questions, and the lingering threat of his mind control experiments. But they knew one thing for certain: Stearns was far from done. His attack on the summit had been a warning shot, and the real battle was yet to come. The war for Celestial Island. As Sam and his team regrouped, the world's most powerful nations positioned their forces around Celestial Island, each claiming a right to its adamantium. The tension in the world had reached a breaking point. Captain America, Sam Wilson, stood at the center of a brewing storm, where political schemes, personal vendettas, and global threats converged. The discovery of adamantium on Celestial Island had ignited a race for power, but more dangerous than the metal itself were the men willing to do anything to control it. And at the heart of it all was the man who once wielded absolute authority, President Thaddeus "Thunderbolt" Ross. Sam, along with his allies Joaquin Torres and Ruth Bat-Seraph, had barely escaped Camp Echo 1 with their lives. Dr. Samuel Stearns, now fully embracing his identity as the leader, had slipped through their fingers, leaving behind only chaos, questions, and the lingering threat of his mind control experiments. But they knew one thing for certain: Stearns was far from done. His attack on the summit had been a warning shot, and the real battle was yet to come. The war for Celestial Island. As Sam and his team regrouped, the world's most powerful nations positioned their forces around Celestial Island, each claiming a right to its adamantium. Japan and the United States had sent their fleets, with tensions so high that one wrong move could spark a full-scale war. The United Nations scrambled to mediate, but it was clear, this conflict was no longer about diplomacy, it was about dominance. In the midst of this, President Ross held a high-level meeting at a secure military base, attended by some of the most powerful figures in the world. The meeting was meant to be a final attempt to negotiate, but Sam had a sinking feeling that it was all a front. Ross had been maneuvering behind the scenes for too long, and Sam suspected that the adamantium arms race was only part of his grand plan. With Joaquin's surveillance skills, they uncovered a chilling secret. Ross had authorized the Serpent Society to carry out covert operations against foreign forces, ensuring that conflict would be inevitable. If war broke out, Ross would seize emergency powers, ensuring his control over the world's strongest metal and cementing his rule through force. The transformation of Thunderbolt Ross. Sam barely had time to process this revelation when a new crisis erupted. During a military demonstration at the base, an unexpected figure arrived: Samuel Stearns. But he wasn't alone. He had come to settle his score with Ross, and he had brought a final gift of destruction. In front of the gathered officials and military leaders, Stearns activated a device emitting the same hypnotic frequency that had turned Isaiah Bradley into an unwilling assassin. But this time, the target was Ross himself. The effects were immediate and horrifying. Ross, already a man of unparalleled ambition and aggression, began to convulse, his body expanding, muscles stretching, veins pulsing with raw, uncontrollable power. Stearns had done the impossible. He had transformed Ross into the Red Hulk. The resulting explosion of power leveled the facility. Soldiers and leaders scrambled for cover as the monstrous, crimson-skinned Ross let out a primal roar and unleashed a rampage unlike anything they had ever seen. The military's weapons were useless against him. He was no longer just a man. He was destruction incarnate. The fight of a lifetime. Sam had no choice but to confront the raging Red Hulk before he tore through everything in his path. This was not just another mission. This was a battle for the soul of the nation. The fight was cataclysmic. Red Hulk's strength was immeasurable, each blow shaking the very earth beneath them. Sam, agile and strategic, used his shield and flight to his advantage, dodging and countering where he could. But Ross was relentless, driven by a mixture of rage, power, and a twisted belief that he was the only one who could lead the world forward. As the battle raged on, the skies darkened with incoming warships, each side preparing to fire upon the other, convinced that the chaos was an attack. Sam knew that if he didn't stop Ross now, the world would descend into irreversible war. Breaking the cycle. Despite his raw strength, Red Hulk was not invincible. Sam didn't need to overpower Ross, he needed to outthink him. He lured him toward a strategically weakened structure, one that, when collapsed, would contain his rampage without outright killing him. The moment came when Red Hulk lunged for a final, devastating blow. Sam, using every ounce of strength and skill he had, angled his shield, deflecting the force back at Ross, sending him crashing through the unstable structure. A controlled explosion followed, burying Ross under tons of rubble, not killing him, but stopping him. As the dust settled, Sam stood victorious, not because he was the strongest, but because he had fought smart, he had fought for the right reasons, and he had done what no super-soldier serum ever could. He had led with conviction, not power. The aftermath. With Ross incapacitated, the threat of war dissolved as the world saw the truth. Ross had been willing to sacrifice peace for control. The Serpent Society, without its government backing, collapsed under international scrutiny, and Samuel Sterns vanished into the wind once more, his next move unknown. But even in victory, Sam knew the road ahead would not be easy. The world had almost been pushed to the brink. People would be asking, what now? Who could they trust? Was the age of superheroes truly over? A new Captain America for a new era. As Sam looked at the battered shield in his hands, he knew that the fight would never truly be over. But he also knew that he wasn't alone. Joaquin, Ruth, and even Isaiah Bradley stood with him, showing that heroes weren't defined by super-soldier serum or indestructible metal. They were defined by the choices they made and the people they stood for. The world had changed. Captain America had changed. But one thing remained true. As long as there were people willing to fight for justice, the shield would always have someone to carry it forward. As Sam Wilson stepped away from the ruins of battle, he did so not just as a man in a suit with a shield, but as the Captain America the world needed. In Captain America, Brave New World, every character carries weight, not just in their abilities, but in their ideologies, struggles, and the way they shape the world around them. This is a film where power is not just about brute strength. It's about influence, conviction, and the choices that define a hero. Each major player is caught in a battle, not just against their enemies, but against themselves, their pasts, and the future they are trying to shape. At the center of it all is Sam Wilson, a man burdened with a legacy he never asked for but refuses to abandon. Around him, the pieces of a complex world move. Joaquin Torres, his trusted ally navigating his own transformation, Ruth Bat-Seraph, a warrior with secrets of her own, Isaiah Bradley, the living memory of a country's darkest betrayals, Samuel Sterns, a mind too brilliant for its own good, and Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross, a man so consumed by power that he becomes the very monster he feared. This is a world of shadows and light, of war and diplomacy, of heroes and those who seek to define them. And at the heart of it, every character is fighting their own battle. Sam Wilson, the weight of the shield. Taking up the mantle of Captain America is more than just carrying a shield. It's carrying the weight of a symbol, the expectations of a nation, and the legacy of Steve Rogers. Sam has always been a fighter, but in Brave New World, his fight is different. He isn't just battling villains. He's battling the very idea of what it means to be Captain America. Sam doesn't have the super-soldier serum. He doesn't have the luxury of myth or legend behind him. What he has is his will, his experience, and his belief in what Captain America should be. Throughout the film, Sam faces external threats, terrorists, political manipulation, and the chaos of a world on the brink of war, but his greatest battle is internal. Can he live up to the shield? Can he be the hero people need without compromising who he is? Or is he just a man trying to hold onto a dream that was never his to begin with? Unlike Steve Rogers, Sam is not a soldier of the past. He is a leader of the present, fighting for the future. He knows that being Captain America is not about being invincible. It's about being unwavering in the face of impossible odds. His fight against Red Hulk, a man transformed by power, is not just about stopping a rampage. It is a battle of ideologies. Ross represents control through dominance. Sam represents leadership through example. The contrast is stark, and in the end, Sam proves that power alone does not make a hero. It's the choices that define them. Joaquin Torres, the Falcon takes flight. Joaquin Torres has long been in Sam's shadow, a loyal ally who has always been willing to put himself in danger for the greater good. But Brave New World marks his evolution from sidekick to hero in his own right. As the new Falcon, Joaquin struggles with the idea of stepping into a role that was once held by Sam. He knows he isn't Steve Rogers. Now he isn't even the Falcon that people used to know. His journey is one of self-discovery, of figuring out who he is in a world that keeps trying to define him by someone else's legacy. Joaquin serves as Sam's mirror in many ways. Just as Sam wrestles with whether he deserves the title of Captain America, Joaquin wrestles with whether he can be a hero without losing himself. Unlike Sam, he is younger, more impulsive, sometimes reckless, but he is also brave, resourceful, and loyal to a fault. Through the film, he proves that he is not just a replacement. He is the next step forward. His Falcon is different, faster, sharper, his fighting style reflecting his own personality. He is a hero forged not in war, but in survival, in adapting to an ever-changing battlefield. By the end of the film, Joaquin is no longer following Sam. He is flying beside him. Ruth Bat Seraph, the warrior with secrets. Every story needs a wild card, and in Brave New World, that wild card is Ruth Bat Seraph. A former Black Widow turned security expert, Ruth is a woman who has spent her life in the shadows of power, protecting those who claim to serve justice while knowing full well how corrupt they can be. Her loyalty to President Ross is unshakable at first. She believes in structure, in order, in the idea that strength is necessary to keep the world from descending into chaos. But as the film progresses, her faith is tested. She sees firsthand the cost of blind allegiance, and when Ross's transformation into Red Hulk threatens to tear the world apart, she is forced to make a choice: follow orders or do what she knows is right. Ruth is a character of conflicted morality. She knows that sometimes good people have to do bad things to survive, but she also knows that there is a line that should never be crossed. Her arc is about finding her own path, outside of governments and orders, choosing to fight not for leaders, but for people. Isaiah Bradley, the living reminder. Isaiah Bradley is not just a character. He is a symbol of everything America has tried to forget. A super soldier before Steve Rogers, he was betrayed by his own country, locked away and erased from history. His presence in Brave New World is a reminder that the shield is not just a symbol of hope, it is also a symbol of the sins that came before. For Sam, Isaiah represents a painful truth, that America has always been selective in choosing its heroes. Isaiah is bitter, but he is not broken. He sees in Sam something he never had, a chance to wield the shield on his own terms, without compromise. Isaiah's role is pivotal, not just as a mentor, but as a voice of accountability. He tells Sam the truth when others won't. He makes Sam question everything he believes about what it means to be Captain America in a world that still struggles with its past. But Isaiah's story does not end in bitterness. By the film's conclusion, he sees something new in Sam: hope. Not in the system, but in the people willing to change it. Samuel Stearns, the leader of chaos. In the shadows of power, Samuel Stearns, aka the leader, moves like a mastermind orchestrating a grand design. Once a scientist obsessed with knowledge, Stearns was transformed into something far more dangerous, a man whose intelligence had outgrown his humanity. Unlike other villains, Stearns does not crave destruction for destruction's sake. He believes in a world ruled by intellect, where brute force is obsolete. To him, Ross, Sam, and the entire power structure of the world are dinosaurs clinging to outdated ideals. But what makes Stearns terrifying is that he is not wrong. His methods are horrifying, but his logic is chillingly sound. He doesn't fight with fists. He fights with ideas, with manipulation, with control that transcends the physical. When he unleashes the Red Hulk, it is not just an act of vengeance. It is his proof that strength without intelligence is a doomed force. His escape at the end leaves a haunting question. What is his next move? And has he already set it in motion? Thaddeus, Thunderbolt. Ross, the monster within. Ross has always been a man of iron will and unshakable belief in strength above all else. But in Brave New World, that belief consumes him, literally. His transformation into Red Hulk is not just a physical mutation. It is the embodiment of his own ideology taken to its extreme. He believed that power should be controlled, wielded, and used to enforce order. But in the end, it consumes him, leaving behind nothing but destruction. Ross represents the ultimate cautionary tale, a man so obsessed with dominance that he loses everything, including himself. The characters who shape a new era. Each character in Captain America, Brave New World contributes to a larger theme, that heroes are not defined by power, but by their choices. Sam, Joaquin, Ruth, Isaiah, Stearns, and Ross are all fighting for what they believe is right, but only one truth emerges. A true Captain America doesn't fight for control. A true Captain America fights for the future. In the intricate tapestry of filmmaking, certain productions stand out not just for their on-screen narratives, but for the compelling stories that unfold behind the scenes. Captain America, Brave New World, 2025, is one such film, where the convergence of seasoned actors, evolving storylines, and unforeseen challenges created a production journey as riveting as the film itself. Harrison Ford's presidential return. One of the most captivating aspects of Brave New World was the casting of Harrison Ford as President Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross. This role marked Ford's second portrayal of a U.S. president, the first being in Air Force One, 1997. The decision to cast Ford followed the passing of William Hurt, who had previously embodied Ross in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU. Ford's involvement added a layer of gravitas to the film, bridging his legacy with the evolving narrative of the MCU. A title's evolution. Initially, the film bore the title Captain America, New World Order. However, in June 2023, the title was changed to Brave New World. This change was made to better reflect the film's themes and to avoid unintended negative connotations associated with the original title. The return of the leader. Tim Blake Nelson reprised his role as Samuel Stearns, also known as the Leader, after a 17-year hiatus since The Incredible Hulk, 2008. This long-awaited return delighted fans, reintroducing a character whose storyline had been left unresolved for over a decade. Filming amidst Washington's cherry blossoms. The film's final act is set in Washington, D.C., during the cherry blossom season. Director Julius Onah, who had vivid memories of the cherry blossoms from his time in Washington, D.C., chose this setting to add a unique visual element to the film's climax. On-set tensions and reshoots. The production of Brave New World faced significant challenges, including extensive reshoots and script changes. Reports indicate that these changes led to characters being dropped and restored, contributing to a tense atmosphere on set. Additionally, some crew members described the production as deeply troubled, with costly reshoots and a challenging working environment. Anthony Mackie's perspective on Harrison Ford. Despite reports of on-set tensions, Anthony Mackie, who portrays Sam Wilson/Captain America, expressed surprise at how approachable and down-to-earth Harrison Ford was during filming. Mackie noted that Ford would chill with us like a regular person, sharing meals and engaging in casual conversations, which added a sense of camaraderie to the production. Julius Onah's directorial vision. Director Julius Onah, a Nigerian immigrant, brought a unique perspective to the film. His journey from aspiring filmmaker to directing a major Marvel installment is a testament to his dedication and vision. Onah aimed to infuse the film with themes of empathy, honor, and integrity, drawing from his own experiences to craft a narrative that resonates on multiple levels. The introduction of the Red Hulk. The film introduces the Red Hulk, with Harrison Ford's character undergoing a transformation. Producer Nate Moore discussed the challenges of bringing this character to life, particularly in designing a creature that was both formidable and true to Ford's likeness. The visual effects team at Weta Digital played a crucial role in achieving this balance, ensuring that the Red Hulk was both a credible threat and a seamless extension of Ford's performance. A nod to comic book lore. The second official poster for Brave New World pays homage to the cover of Captain America No. 230, featuring Captain America protecting himself from the Hulk's punch with his shield. This deliberate nod to the comics delighted fans and showcased the filmmaker's commitment to honoring the source material. Giancarlo Esposito's late addition. In May 2024, it was revealed that Giancarlo Esposito had been cast in the MCU and would appear in Brave New World as Seth Volker/Sidewinder, the leader of the Serpent Society. His character was introduced during reshoots, adding depth to the film's antagonist roster and setting the stage for future storylines within the MCU. A film shaped by challenges. The production of Captain America, Brave New World was marked by a series of challenges, from script rewrites to extensive reshoots. These obstacles tested the resilience and adaptability of the cast and crew, ultimately shaping a film that reflects both the complexities of its narrative and the dedication of those behind the scenes. In conclusion, Captain America, Brave New World stands as a testament to the multifaceted nature of filmmaking, where on-screen heroics are paralleled by off-screen endeavors. The film's journey from conception to release is filled with fascinating anecdotes, unexpected challenges, and a collaborative spirit that underscores the magic of cinema. In Captain America, Brave New World, the narrative is layered with significant events that redefine the role of Captain America, reshape the balance of power in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and challenge the very foundation of what it means to be a hero in an evolving world. The film is not merely an action spectacle. It is a character-driven political thriller, woven with themes of power, legacy, corruption, and personal conviction. At its core, the movie delves into the struggle between control and freedom, embodied by characters who navigate an increasingly fractured world order. The significant events in the film are not just about setting up grand battles, but about creating ideological clashes that have far-reaching consequences. Through a critical lens, these moments reveal how Brave New World is not just another entry in the MCU but a pivotal moment for the franchise, redefining its direction and its heroes. The political landscape, a world on edge. One of the most striking aspects of the film is its political backdrop, which adds a level of realism and urgency rarely seen in superhero films. Thaddeus "Thunderbolt" Ross, now the President of the United States, is at the center of a high-stakes international crisis. His administration is spearheading negotiations over adamantium, a newly discovered metal found on the Celestial Island. This discovery, rather than uniting the world, divides it further, as global superpowers race to stake their claim on this newfound resource. The tension surrounding adamantium serves as an allegory for real-world geopolitical conflicts, where nations engage in power struggles over limited resources, often under the guise of diplomacy but ultimately seeking dominance. Ross' actions reveal a leader driven not by moral integrity, but by strategic manipulation. His approach mirrors the tactics of historical political figures who have used military strength and nationalistic rhetoric to consolidate power, and his eventual downfall reflects the dangers of unchecked ambition. Critically, this event frames the film as a political thriller as much as a superhero story, grounding the MCU in realistic power struggles that feel uncomfortably relevant. The Summit Attack, an unseen threat. The attack at the Global Summit is one of the film's most impactful and disturbing sequences, not because of its action, but because of how it unfolds. During high-level negotiations, a simple yet haunting element disrupts the moment: a song. Mr. Blue, an old melody, plays over the speakers. At first, it seems like a minor technical glitch, but within seconds, leaders, diplomats, and security officials begin turning on one another, their movements robotic, their eyes vacant. In an instant, allies become assassins, and chaos erupts. This moment reveals the full extent of Samuel Stern's capabilities as the leader. Unlike villains who rely on brute force, Stearns wields something far more insidious: mind control. The sequence is chilling in its execution, showing how fragile order can be when the right pressure points are exploited. From a thematic standpoint, this event is a commentary on manipulation, propaganda, and the illusion of free will. The way Stearns influences people without their knowledge reflects modern concerns about media control, misinformation, and the unseen forces that shape public perception. The horror of the scene is not just in the violence, but in the implication that these people had no choice, a stark contrast to Captain America, who fights precisely because he believes in choice, in agency, in the ability to stand against oppression. Red Hulk's transformation, the price of power. One of the most visually striking and emotionally resonant moments in the film is President Ross' transformation into Red Hulk. It is a moment that has been subtly built up throughout the film. Hints of deteriorating health, increased aggression, and cryptic references to experiments conducted at Camp Echo 1. When the transformation finally happens, it is not triumphant but tragic. Unlike Bruce Banner, who feared the Hulk but learned to coexist with it, Ross embraces his monstrous form, seeing it as the ultimate tool of dominance. The cinematography shifts drastically. The colors darken, the framing becomes chaotic, and the soundtrack distorts into something unnatural. We watch as Ross loses himself, his humanity stripped away by the very power he sought to control. This transformation serves as a cautionary tale, reinforcing one of the film's central themes. Power without control leads to destruction. Ross' ideology, rooted in military strength and absolute authority, crumbles in the face of the raw, uncontained chaos of his new form. He is no longer a leader. He is a weapon, and weapons do not rule, they destroy. From a critical perspective, Ross' downfall is significant because it reflects the cost of obsession. His transformation is not just physical but symbolic. He is a man consumed by his own hubris, blinded by his belief in force over diplomacy. Sam Wilson vs. Red Hulk, a battle of ideologies. The climactic battle between Sam Wilson's Captain America and Red Hulk is far more than just a spectacular fight sequence. It is the embodiment of the film's central conflict: might versus morality, dominance versus leadership, destruction versus protection. Unlike most Marvel battles, this is not about who is stronger, because Sam knows he cannot outmatch Ross in sheer physical power. Instead, the fight is about strategy, intelligence, and conviction. Sam does not win by being stronger. He wins by being smarter, by refusing to fight on Ross' terms. He uses Ross' rage against him, leading him into a structural collapse that neutralizes him without killing him. The victory is not just physical but moral. Sam proves that true strength lies in restraint, in knowing when to fight and when to stop. From a thematic standpoint, this battle solidifies Sam's place as a Captain America unlike any before him. He is not a super soldier. He is not enhanced by any serum. He is a hero because of his unwavering belief in doing what is right, not what is easy. This sequence also challenges the idea that strength alone defines a leader. Ross, with all his physical might, fails because he believes in ruling through fear. Sam succeeds because he believes in leading through example. The fallout: a world changed. The aftermath of the battle sets the stage for the future of the MCU. The world has seen firsthand the dangers of unchecked power, the cost of blind ambition, and the importance of heroes who fight not for control, but for people. Ross is neutralized but not gone, leaving the question of whether Red Hulk could return. Samuel Stearns, ever the manipulator, escapes into the shadows, his influence still lurking beneath the surface. Sam, now fully embracing his role as Captain America, walks away from the battle victorious, but not unscathed. He has won this fight, but the war for what Captain America represents will never truly end. The world no longer questions whether Sam deserves the shield. He has proven it not through super strength, but through courage, conviction, and a willingness to fight for a future better than the past. Final thoughts: why this film matters. From a critical standpoint, Captain America: Brave New World is more than just an MCU installment. It is a reflection of modern struggles. It tackles political corruption, global conflicts, the dangers of authoritarianism, and the weight of legacy. Sam Wilson's journey is not just about proving himself as Captain America. It is about proving that heroes are defined by their choices, not by their origins. The film challenges the audience to rethink what heroism means in a world where power is easily abused. It is not about being the strongest, the fastest, or the most powerful. It is about standing up, again and again, even when the world is against you. And in doing so, Brave New World does something remarkable. It redefines Captain America not as a man with a shield, but as a symbol of unwavering resistance against those who seek to control through fear. In the end, Sam Wilson doesn't just wear the shield. He earns it. The creation of Captain America: Brave New World was a journey marked by artistic ambition, unforeseen challenges, and the collaborative spirit of filmmaking. From the initial script readings to the final edits, the production process was filled with moments that were as compelling as the narrative unfolding on screen. This exploration delves into the behind-the-scenes stories, the dedication of the cast and crew, and the intricate process that brought this chapter of the Marvel Cinematic Universe to life. The visionary director, Julius Onah. At the helm of this ambitious project was director Julius Onah, a Nigerian immigrant whose journey to Hollywood was as inspiring as the heroes he sought to portray. Onah's unique perspective and commitment to storytelling infused the film with themes of empathy, honor, and integrity. His leadership was instrumental in navigating the complexities of the production, especially during the extensive reshoots that aimed to refine the film's narrative and tone. Harrison Ford's presidential transformation. One of the most notable aspects of the production was the casting of Harrison Ford as President Thaddeus "Thunderbolt" Ross. Stepping into a role previously portrayed by the late William Hurt, Ford brought his legendary gravitas to the character. His portrayal required not only embodying the stern political figure, but also undergoing a transformation into the formidable Red Hulk. His portrayal required not only embodying the stern political figure, but also undergoing a transformation into the formidable Red Hulk. The visual effects team, led by Weta FX, meticulously crafted this transformation, ensuring that Ford's likeness was preserved while creating a creature that was both intimidating and true to the character's essence. Navigating production challenges. The production faced its share of hurdles, including extensive reshoots and script revisions. Initial test screenings indicated the need for significant changes, leading to the addition of new characters and reimagined sequences. Giancarlo Esposito's late inclusion as Seth Volker, the leader of the Serpent Society, exemplified the dynamic nature of the filmmaking process. These adjustments, though challenging, were driven by a commitment to deliver a compelling and cohesive story. A behind-the-scenes glimpse. For a visual journey into the making of Captain America: Brave New World, you can watch the following behind-the-scenes featurette. In Captain America: Brave New World, the settings and cinematic elements are meticulously crafted to enhance the narrative, immersing the audience in a world where political intrigue and personal valor intertwine. The film's locations, from the bustling streets of Washington, D.C., to the strategic interiors of power, serve as more than mere backdrops. They are integral to the storytelling, reflecting the themes and emotional currents that drive the plot. Washington, D.C., the heart of political power. The decision to set significant portions of the film in Washington, D.C., grounds the story in a realm of political authenticity. The city's iconic landmarks, such as the U.S. Capitol and the White House, are not just symbols of American democracy but also arenas where critical decisions unfold. By situating key events in these locations, the film underscores the gravity of the narrative, emphasizing the stakes involved in the unfolding political drama. Filming in authentic locations. To capture the essence of Washington, D.C., the production team undertook on-location shoots, ensuring that the portrayal of the city was both accurate and immersive. Filming at the U.S. Capitol, for instance, added a layer of realism that studio sets could not replicate. This authenticity enhances the audience's connection to the story, making the political machinations and character interactions more compelling. Atlanta, Georgia, a versatile stand-in. While Washington, D.C., provided the authentic political backdrop, much of the film was shot in Atlanta, Georgia, particularly at Trilith Studios. Atlanta's diverse architecture and adaptable urban landscapes allowed it to double for various locations, offering the filmmakers flexibility in crafting the film's visual narrative. This strategic choice not only optimized production logistics but also enriched the film's aesthetic diversity. Cinematography, crafting mood and tone. The cinematography in Brave New World is instrumental in establishing the film's atmosphere. Utilizing a palette of muted tones and strategic lighting, the visual style reflects the film's themes of ambiguity and moral complexity. The use of handheld cameras during intense sequences adds a sense of immediacy, drawing viewers into the characters' experiences and heightening the emotional impact. Visual symbolism, cherry blossoms as metaphor. An evocative visual motif in the film is the recurring imagery of cherry blossoms. These delicate flowers, prevalent in Washington, D.C., during spring, symbolize both the fleeting nature of peace and the potential for renewal. Their presence in pivotal scenes serves as a metaphor for the characters' journeys, reflecting themes of transformation and the transient beauty of moments amidst turmoil. Set design, reflecting character and theme. The interior settings are meticulously designed to mirror the characters' psyches and the film's thematic undercurrents. The austere decor of political offices contrasts with the personal spaces of the protagonists, highlighting the dichotomy between public duty and private struggle. This deliberate set design enriches the narrative, providing subtle insights into character motivations and the overarching storyline. Action sequences, integrating setting and story. The film's action sequences are thoughtfully choreographed to utilize the settings effectively. A notable example is a high-stakes chase through the streets of Washington, D.C., where familiar landmarks become obstacles and opportunities within the pursuit. This integration of setting into the action not only grounds the spectacle in reality, but also reinforces the narrative's connection to real-world locales. Lighting and color palette, conveying emotion. Lighting plays a crucial role in conveying the film's emotional tone. The use of shadows and contrasting light sources reflects the characters' internal conflicts and the murky nature of political alliances. The color palette, dominated by cool blues and steely grays, underscores the film's serious themes, while warmer hues are reserved for moments of personal connection and hope. Sound design, enhancing the atmosphere. The film's sound design complements its visual elements, using ambient city noises and subtle musical cues to enhance the atmosphere. The bustling sounds of Washington, D.C., juxtaposed with the quietude of private conversations, create an auditory tapestry that mirrors the narrative's tension and intimacy. Conclusion: a cohesive cinematic experience. In Captain America, Brave New World, the thoughtful integration of setting and cinematic elements creates a cohesive and immersive experience. The deliberate choices in locations, cinematography, set design, and sound all serve to deepen the narrative, offering viewers not just a story, but a visceral journey through a world where the personal and political are inextricably linked. The production of Captain America, Brave New World was a journey marked by ambition, challenges, and the collaborative spirit of filmmaking. From the initial script readings to the final wrap, the set buzzed with energy, creativity, and the occasional hurdle that tested the mettle of the cast and crew. A new captain takes flight. Anthony Mackie, stepping into the iconic role of Captain America, brought not just his acting prowess but also a sense of camaraderie that permeated the set. Known for his humor and approachability, Mackie often lightened the mood during intense shooting schedules. His leadership mirrored that of his character, fostering an environment where every team member felt valued. Mackie's commitment to authenticity was evident in his preparation. He underwent rigorous training to perform his own stunts, ensuring that the action sequences were as realistic as possible. A legendary presence. The inclusion of Harrison Ford as President Thaddeus "Thunderbolt" Ross added a layer of gravitas to the production. Ford's reputation as a Hollywood icon preceded him, and his presence on set was both inspiring and, at times, intimidating. Some crew members observed that Ford maintained a certain distance, focusing intensely on his role, which occasionally led to perceptions of aloofness. However, his professionalism was unquestionable, and his portrayal of Ross brought depth to the character, especially during the transformation into Red Hulk. Navigating production challenges. The journey was not without its obstacles. The film underwent extensive reshoots, a decision driven by the desire to refine the narrative and address feedback from early test screenings. These reshoots were comprehensive, involving significant changes to key sequences and the addition of new scenes to enhance character development. The process demanded flexibility and resilience from the cast and crew, who adapted to the evolving script and shooting schedules. A director's vision. Director Julius Onah approached the project with a clear vision, aiming to blend the superhero genre with contemporary political themes. His direction emphasized character-driven storytelling, focusing on the personal journeys of the protagonists amidst the larger narrative. Onah's collaborative approach encouraged input from actors and crew alike, fostering a creative environment where ideas were freely exchanged. This openness led to spontaneous moments on screen, adding authenticity to the performances. Behind-the-scenes camaraderie. Despite the intense workload, the set was often filled with laughter and camaraderie. Cast members would engage in friendly competitions during breaks, and impromptu dance-offs became a common sight, providing much-needed levity amidst the demanding shooting schedule. These moments of bonding strengthened the ensemble, translating into palpable chemistry on screen. Technical feats and creative solutions. The film's ambitious action sequences required meticulous planning and execution. One particularly challenging scene involved a high-speed chase through a bustling cityscape. To capture the intensity, the crew employed innovative camera rigs and drone technology, allowing for dynamic shots that immersed the audience in the action. The coordination between the stunt team and cinematographers was crucial, ensuring safety while achieving the desired visual impact. Embracing diversity. The production celebrated diversity, both in front of and behind the camera. The inclusive environment encouraged a multitude of perspectives, enriching the storytelling and resonating with a broader audience. This commitment to representation was not just a mandate but a shared value among the team, influencing casting decisions and narrative choices. Reflecting on the journey. As filming concluded, the cast and crew reflected on the journey with a sense of accomplishment. The challenges faced and overcome had forged a tight-knit community, united by the goal of bringing a compelling story to life. The experiences shared, both the trials and triumphs, left an indelible mark on all involved, shaping not just the film but their professional paths moving forward. In retrospect, the making of Captain America: Brave New World was a testament to the collaborative nature of filmmaking. It highlighted the importance of adaptability, the strength found in diversity, and the magic that happens when a group of dedicated individuals come together to create something greater than the sum of its parts. For a visual glimpse into the behind-the-scenes action, you might find this featurette insightful. In Captain America: Brave New World, themes and symbolism are woven deeply into the narrative, creating a film that is more than just an action-packed superhero epic. It is a story about leadership, responsibility, power, and identity, exploring the burdens of history and the choices that shape the future. Every battle fought, every conversation had, and every decision made is infused with larger thematic significance, forcing its characters and its audience to consider what it truly means to be a hero. At its heart, the film is not just about Sam Wilson taking up the mantle of Captain America. It is about what that mantle means in a world that is no longer black and white, a world where justice is complicated and power is often wielded for personal gain rather than the greater good. Through its themes and visual symbolism, the film examines the legacy of Captain America, the dangers of unchecked authority, and the role of individual choice in shaping the world. The theme of legacy and the burden of the shield. One of the most dominant themes in Brave New World is legacy, specifically the question of who gets to define it and who gets to carry it forward. For Sam Wilson, stepping into the role of Captain America is not just about wielding a shield. It is about honoring a history that is both inspiring and deeply flawed. The shield itself is a symbol of hope, but also of responsibility, a responsibility that Sam struggles with throughout the film. Unlike Steve Rogers, who was chosen for his role through the super soldier serum, Sam is a self-made hero, a man who has fought his entire life not because of some cosmic destiny, but because he believes in what is right. This distinction is important because it highlights the idea that heroism is not about who you were, but about what you choose to stand for. Asterisk throughout the film, Sam is constantly reminded of Steve Rogers' legacy, and he must grapple with the expectations that come with it. Asterisk characters like Isaiah Bradley serve as a stark reminder that the legacy of Captain America is not as pure as the history books claim. Isaiah's story exposes the injustices and betrayals hidden beneath the surface of America's superhero mythology. Asterisk the public perception of Captain America is also a theme. While some embrace Sam as the new Cap, others reject him, demonstrating that legacy is not something you inherit, it is something you must earn. Symbolism. The shield in Brave New World is more than just a weapon, it is a symbol of history and the weight of responsibility. Asterisk when Sam first holds it, it feels too heavy, reflecting his uncertainty. Asterisk as the film progresses, his movements with it become more fluid, mirroring his growth into the role. Asterisk in the climactic battle, the shield is knocked away from him, forcing him to fight without it, symbolizing that he is Captain America not because of the shield, but because of who he is. The theme of power and corruption. Thunderbolt Ross and the Red Hulk. Power is a recurring theme in the film, not just in terms of strength, but in terms of influence, authority, and control. President Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross is the embodiment of power taken too far. He believes that strength is the only way to maintain order, and he sees the discovery of adamantium as a means to cement America's dominance on the global stage. His transformation into Red Hulk is not just a physical shift, it is a manifestation of his obsession with control. Ross' arc explores the danger of unchecked power. Asterisk as a politician, he manipulates events to serve his agenda, using national security as a justification for military expansion. Asterisk his partnership with the Serpent Society shows how those in power often use criminal elements to achieve their goals while maintaining a facade of legitimacy. Asterisk his transformation into Red Hulk symbolizes the cost of absolute power. He loses his humanity, becoming a weapon rather than a leader. Symbolism. The Red Hulk. Asterisk the color red in the film is associated with violence, aggression, and rage. Ross' transformation into Red Hulk visually represents his descent into madness and destruction. Asterisk unlike the Green Hulk, who struggles to control his anger, Red Hulk fully embraces his monstrous form, making him even more dangerous. Asterisk his final battle with Sam is a metaphor for ideology versus morality. Ross believes power justifies his actions, while Sam believes power should serve the people, not control them. The theme of identity. Who gets to define a hero? Throughout the film, Sam, Joaquin Torres, the new Falcon, and even Ruth Bat Seraph all struggle with questions of identity. They are more than just heroes. They are people forced to navigate a world that constantly tells them what they should be. For Sam, the question is whether America is ready for a black Captain America, and whether he even wants to be a symbol for a nation that has not always stood for justice. Asterisk he is confronted with doubt, criticism, and even outright rejection, forcing him to define for himself what it means to be Captain America. Asterisk unlike Steve Rogers, whose identity was clear-cut, Sam's identity is constantly questioned, which mirrors the real-world struggles of representation and leadership. For Joaquin, the question is whether he can fill Sam's old role as Falcon, or if he needs to redefine it for himself. Asterisk he struggles with living up to expectations and forging his own path, a theme that reflects Sam's own struggles with stepping into Steve's shoes. Ruth Bat Seraph, a former Black Widow turned government agent, represents loyalty versus independence. Asterisk she is torn between following orders and choosing her own moral path. Asterisk her arc explores the idea that identity is not just about where you come from, but about what you choose to fight for. Symbolism. The costume design. Asterisk Sam's Captain America suit is designed to blend elements of his Falcon past with his new role, showing that he is not replacing Steve Rogers. He is creating something new. Asterisk Joaquin's Falcon suit is sleeker, lighter, and faster, reflecting his own unique take on the role. Ruth's wardrobe shifts from government-issued uniforms to a more practical, combat-ready look, symbolizing her growing independence. The theme of war and peace. The conflict over adamantium. The political struggle over adamantium is one of the film's most important subplots. It represents the eternal conflict between diplomacy and militarization. The discovery of adamantium creates a global arms race, much like real-world struggles over oil, technology, and nuclear weapons. The US, Japan, and other world powers see adamantium not as a tool for progress, but as a means of control. Sam, caught in the middle, must prevent war while proving that true strength comes from unity, not division. Symbolism. The Celestial Island. The island where adamantium is found is a remnant of Tiamat, the Celestial, representing the consequences of past events affecting the present. Its uncharted and mysterious nature symbolizes the unknown future and how mankind's choices will shape it. Conclusion. A brave new hero for a brave new world. Captain America, Brave New World is a film about transitions, from one Captain America to another, from one era of global politics to an uncertain future, from power wielded irresponsibly to power used wisely. The film's themes of legacy, power, identity, and war are not just narrative elements, they are reflections of real-world struggles. Through its symbolism, from the shield to the Red Hulk, the film conveys the weight of responsibility that comes with leadership. By the end, Sam Wilson has proven that Captain America is not defined by super-soldier serum, political favor, or historical legacy. He is defined by his choices, his convictions, and his refusal to compromise his values. And in doing so, Brave New World delivers a powerful message. Heroes are not made by history. They are made by the future they choose to fight for. In Captain America, Brave New World, the filmmakers employed a variety of sophisticated techniques to craft a film that is both visually compelling and emotionally resonant. From the deliberate choices in cinematography and sound design to the intricate editing and visual effects, each element was meticulously designed to immerse the audience in the narrative and enhance the overall viewing experience. Cinematography. Crafting a gritty, suspenseful tone. Cinematographer Kramer Morgenthau drew inspiration from classic films such as The Day of the Jackal, Le Samurai, and Point Blank to establish a visual style that evokes a gritty, suspenseful tone. This approach is evident in the controlled composition, lighting, and abstract framing techniques employed throughout the film. By utilizing these methods, Morgenthau was able to create a visual language that reflects the film's themes of moral ambiguity and political intrigue. Lighting and color palette. Reflecting emotional states. The film's lighting design plays a crucial role in conveying the characters' emotional states and the overall atmosphere of the narrative. High-contrast lighting is used in scenes involving President Thaddeus "Thunderbolt" Ross, casting deep shadows that symbolize his hidden agendas and internal conflicts. In contrast, scenes featuring Sam Wilson as Captain America are illuminated with softer, more natural lighting, highlighting his integrity and the hope he represents. The color palette transitions from cool blues and grays in tense moments to warmer tones during scenes of camaraderie and resolve, subtly guiding the audience's emotional journey. Camera work, enhancing intimacy and tension. The filmmakers employed a variety of camera techniques to enhance the storytelling. Handheld cameras are used during action sequences to create a sense of immediacy and immersion, allowing the audience to experience the chaos and urgency alongside the characters. In contrast, static, wide-angle shots are utilized in moments of political maneuvering, emphasizing the gravity of decisions being made and the isolation of those in power. This deliberate use of camera work serves to underscore the film's thematic contrasts between action and contemplation, chaos and control. Sound design. Amplifying the narrative. Sound design in Brave New World is intricately woven into the fabric of the film, serving to heighten tension and underscore emotional beats. The subtle use of ambient sounds, such as the distant hum of city life or the sterile beeps of medical equipment, grounds the scenes in reality. During action sequences, the soundscape becomes more aggressive, with sharp, piercing noises that reflect the heightened stakes. The contrast between silence and sound is also employed effectively. Moments of quiet introspection are punctuated by the absence of background noise, drawing the audience's focus entirely to the character's internal struggles. Editing, pacing, and narrative structure. The film's editing plays a pivotal role in maintaining pacing and reinforcing the narrative structure. Quick cuts during combat scenes convey the frenetic energy of battle, while longer takes in dialogue-heavy moments allow for character development and the building of suspense. The editors also employed cross-cutting techniques to juxtapose parallel storylines, highlighting the interconnectedness of the characters' journeys and the broader implications of their actions. This method ensures that the audience remains engaged, as the film seamlessly transitions between personal conflicts and larger geopolitical stakes. Visual effects, integrating the extraordinary with the real. The visual effects, VFX, in Brave New World are utilized not merely for spectacle but to serve the story by integrating extraordinary elements into the real world. The transformation of President Ross into the Red Hulk, for instance, was achieved through a combination of motion capture technology and advanced rendering software. Weta FX, the studio responsible for this transformation, ensured that the digital portrayal retained Harrison Ford's likeness, thereby preserving the character's identity even in his altered form. This attention to detail allows the audience to maintain an emotional connection to the character despite his monstrous appearance. Artificial intelligence in VFX, pushing technological boundaries. The production also embraced cutting-edge technology by incorporating artificial intelligence, AI, into the VFX process. AI algorithms were used to streamline complex simulations, such as large-scale destruction scenes and crowd animations, allowing for more realistic and efficient rendering. This innovation not only enhanced the visual fidelity of the film but also allowed the creative team to experiment with sequences that would have been logistically challenging or cost-prohibitive using traditional methods. Production design, creating authentic and symbolic spaces. The production design of Brave New World meticulously crafts environments that are both authentic and symbolically resonant. The design team collaborated closely with the VFX department to ensure a seamless blend between practical sets and digital extensions. For example, the design of the Celestial Island, where adamantium is discovered, combines natural landscapes with subtle otherworldly elements, reflecting the island's mysterious origins and the geopolitical tensions it incites. This cohesive approach ensures that the settings not only serve as backdrops but also enhance the narrative by embodying the film's themes. Box office performance, a financial perspective. Captain America, Brave New World was produced on a budget of approximately $180 million. Upon its release, the film garnered $88.5 million during its opening weekend in North America, with expectations to reach $100 million over the four-day President's Day holiday. Globally, the film's earnings were projected to total $192.4 million by the end of the same period. As of March 19, 2025, the film's worldwide box office gross stands at approximately $389.7 million, positioning it as the third highest-grossing film of the year. Despite these substantial figures, the film's performance has been the subject of industry discussions, particularly when compared to other Marvel Cinematic Universe (MCU) releases. Some analyses suggest that the film's box office trajectory may be influenced by factors such as audience reception. The journey of Captain America, Brave New World is as compelling off-screen as it is on. The film's ensemble cast, comprising both familiar faces and new additions, brought a unique dynamic to the production, enriching the narrative with their diverse experiences and perspectives. Through candid interviews and audience reactions, we gain insight into the collaborative spirit that shaped the film and the varied responses it elicited upon release. Anthony Mackie, embracing the shield. Anthony Mackie, stepping into the role of Captain America, approached this monumental task with a blend of humility and determination. In interviews, he often reflected on the significance of portraying a black Captain America in today's socio-political climate. Mackie emphasized the importance of representation and the responsibility he felt to inspire younger generations. His off-screen persona mirrored the leadership qualities of his character, fostering a sense of camaraderie among the cast and crew. Mackie's commitment to authenticity extended beyond his performance. He actively engaged in discussions about the film's themes, ensuring that the narrative resonated on multiple levels. Harrison Ford, a seasoned presence. Joining the Marvel Cinematic Universe as President Thaddeus "Thunderbolt" Ross, Harrison Ford brought decades of cinematic experience to the set. Despite initial reservations about stepping into a role previously portrayed by the late William Hurt, Ford embraced the challenge, aiming to honor Hurt's legacy while making the character his own. His portrayal added depth to the narrative, exploring the complexities of power and transformation. Ford's presence was both commanding and approachable, creating an environment where fellow actors could thrive. His ability to balance intensity with subtlety enriched the film's portrayal of political leadership. Liv Tyler, a welcome return. After a 5-year hiatus from acting, Liv Tyler reprised her role as Betty Ross. Her return was met with enthusiasm from fans and colleagues alike. Tyler expressed excitement about rejoining the Marvel Universe and contributing to the evolving storyline. Her character's reintroduction added emotional depth to the plot, exploring themes of reconciliation and resilience. Tyler's performance was lauded for its grace and authenticity, seamlessly blending with the film's overarching narrative. Her return also highlighted the film's commitment to honoring its roots while forging new paths. Danny Ramirez, rising to the occasion. Danny Ramirez, portraying Joaquin Torres, the new Falcon, infused the film with youthful energy and determination. Ramirez delved into his character's evolution, emphasizing Torres's journey from mentee to hero. His portrayal captured the essence of growth and mentorship, resonating with audiences who appreciated the nuanced depiction of legacy and aspiration. Ramirez's dedication to understanding his character's motivations added layers to the film's exploration of heroism. His chemistry with Mackie was particularly noted, reflecting a mentor-mentee relationship that paralleled their on-screen dynamic. Giancarlo Esposito, a formidable antagonist. Giancarlo Esposito's casting as Seth Volker, the leader of the Serpent Society, introduced a sophisticated antagonist to the narrative. Esposito approached the role with his signature intensity, crafting a character that was both menacing and intellectually formidable. His portrayal added a layer of complexity to the film, challenging the protagonists in unexpected ways. Esposito's commitment to authenticity and depth made Volker a memorable addition to the Marvel villain roster. His interactions with the cast elevated the tension and stakes within the story. Behind-the-scenes dynamics. The production of Brave New World was marked by a collaborative atmosphere, with cast and crew forging strong bonds. Anthony Mackie and Harrison Ford's interactions were particularly noteworthy. Mackie expressed surprise at Ford's down-to-earth demeanor, sharing anecdotes of the veteran actor enjoying simple meals and engaging in casual conversations on set. This camaraderie extended to the entire cast, fostering an environment where creativity could flourish. Director Julius Onah encouraged open dialogue, allowing actors to contribute ideas and perspectives, enriching the storytelling process. Audience reception. A spectrum of opinions. Upon its release, Captain America: Brave New World elicited a wide range of reactions from audiences and critics alike. Some viewers praised the film for its action sequences and the performances of the lead actors, particularly Mackie and Ford. One audience member noted that while the movie was entertaining and aligned with the new MCU themes, certain script lines felt cliched, but overall, it was worth watching. However, others felt the film lacked depth, with some critics describing it as dangerously close in quality to being more suited for streaming rather than a major theatrical release. The film's approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes reflected this divide, standing at 48% from critics, while audience scores were more favorable, indicating a disparity between critical and public reception. Critical perspectives. Critics offered varied assessments of the film. Some highlighted the compelling performances of the cast, especially noting Harrison Ford's portrayal of President Ross. However, others criticized the film's execution, pointing out issues with the storyline and visual effects. The mixed reviews underscore the challenges of meeting the high expectations associated with the Marvel franchise, particularly when introducing significant character transitions and new narrative directions. Box office performance. Despite the mixed reviews, Brave New World achieved notable box office success. The film topped the box office for 2 consecutive weekends, earning $28.2 million in its second weekend, despite a 68% decline from its debut. Globally, it amassed $289.4 million within the first few weeks of release, reflecting the enduring appeal of the Marvel brand and the audience's interest in the evolving storyline of Captain America. Conclusion. Captain America: Brave New World stands as a testament to the collaborative efforts of its cast and crew. The film navigated the complexities of legacy, representation, and audience expectations, delivering a narrative that both honors its predecessors and charts new territory. The diverse reactions from audiences and critics alike highlight the subjective nature of storytelling and the varied lenses through which art is perceived. As the credits roll on Captain America: Brave New World, we step back and take in everything this film has delivered. It is more than just another chapter in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It is a redefinition of what it means to be Captain America in a world that is no longer as simple as good versus evil. Through a combination of character depth, powerful themes, and stunning cinematic techniques, the film brings forth a new hero in Sam Wilson, one who is not just inheriting a legacy but shaping his own path. Along the way, we have explored the political complexities surrounding power, the ethical dilemmas of leadership, and the role of identity in heroism. Each frame, each battle, and each decision made by the characters is a reflection of the world they live in, and the world we live in, too. Looking back, we have delved into every aspect of the film, from its plot intricacies to the themes woven into its story. We've examined how its setting and cinematography enhanced the storytelling, how its cast brought the characters to life, and how audiences reacted to this bold new take on an iconic hero. We explored the technical marvels that made the action sequences breathtaking, and the behind-the-scenes stories that brought unexpected challenges and triumphs. The journey of Captain America. At the heart of the film is Sam Wilson's journey. Unlike Steve Rogers, he has no super soldier serum, no enhanced abilities, no divine right to the shield. And yet, he is more than worthy. His strength lies in his choices, his leadership, and his unwavering moral compass. Throughout the film, Sam faces doubt from the world around him and even within himself. He steps into a role that some refuse to accept him in, and he fights battles that are not just physical, but ideological. He stands against President Thaddeus Ross, who believes that power is meant to be wielded with absolute control. He faces the leader, a man who manipulates others like chess pieces. And ultimately, he must prove to the world, and to himself, that being Captain America is about more than just a shield. The power struggle and the fall of Ross. One of the most significant events in the film is Ross' transformation into Red Hulk, not just in terms of spectacle, but in what it represents. Ross' hunger for power and control leads to his own downfall. He becomes the very thing he sought to control, a monstrous force driven by rage rather than reason. His defeat at the hands of Sam Wilson is more than just a battle victory. It is proof that brute strength alone does not define leadership. This moment cements the film's message: power, when unchecked, becomes a destructive force. Ross' arc serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of prioritizing control over integrity. The future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. While Brave New World serves as a self-contained story, it also sets up new questions and possibilities for the future of the MCU. What happens next for Sam Wilson's Captain America? With the world still divided and threats looming in the shadows, his battle is far from over. The leader escapes. What is his next move? As one of the most intelligent villains in the Marvel Universe, his plans are bound to shake the very foundation of global stability. What will become of Red Hulk? Though neutralized, Ross' transformation has left a permanent impact on the world's balance of power. New alliances and conflicts. With the Serpent Society exposed, who will rise to fill the vacuum left behind? While this chapter of Captain America's story may be complete, the ripples it sends throughout the MCU will be felt for years to come. What made Brave New World stand out? As we analyzed the film in depth, we saw that it wasn't just another superhero movie. It had elements of political intrigue, moral dilemmas, and a character-driven narrative that pushed the MCU in a fresh direction. Some of the key aspects that made this film unique include **A grittier, more grounded tone that focused on real-world issues rather than purely supernatural threats. **Complex villains, with Ross and the leader providing two distinct forms of antagonism. One brute force, the other pure intellect. **Sam Wilson's internal conflict, which made him a more relatable and compelling hero. **The use of cinematography, lighting, and sound to enhance the tension and emotion of each scene. **The integration of real-world political struggles, making the film feel relevant and thought-provoking. Audience reactions and impact. The reception to Brave New World has been a topic of discussion among fans and critics alike. **The use of cinematography, lighting, and sound to enhance the tension and emotion of each scene. **The integration of real-world political struggles, making the film feel relevant and thought-provoking. Audience reactions and impact. The reception to Brave New World has been a topic of discussion among fans and critics alike. Some praised its darker, more mature storytelling, while others felt that the film took risks that not all audiences were prepared for. Regardless of opinions, one thing is clear. This film has sparked conversation. Whether it's about Sam Wilson's role as Captain America, the deeper themes of power and corruption, or the direction of the MCU moving forward, Brave New World has left its mark. Marvel films have always been about more than just spectacle. They are about heroes who rise in the face of adversity, about legacies that are shaped through action, and about stories that inspire us to be better. Final thoughts, what we take away. In the end, Captain America, Brave New World is a film that dares to challenge expectations. It doesn't just continue a legacy, it reshapes it. It proves that heroes are not born from serums or government experiments, but from choices, resilience, and an unwavering sense of justice. This is a Captain America for a new era. A Captain America who does not fight for a perfect past, but for a better future. And that, in the end, is what makes Brave New World more than just a movie. It makes it a story worth telling, and one that will be remembered for years to come. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this deep dive into Captain America, Brave New World, don't forget to give this video a like. It really helps us out. And if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel for more in-depth breakdowns, hidden details, and the latest updates on all things movies and Marvel. We'd love to hear your thoughts. What did you think of Sam Wilson's journey as Captain America? Did the film live up to your expectations? Let us know in the comments below. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep believing in the power of great storytelling. See you in the next video. Rocket Clapper Board.